The abduction and torture of Erias Lukwago should concern everyone. How I wish Ugandans were more connected from the foothills of Agoro to down in Rakai. How I wish we were connected from Oima, Mubende, and indeed Moroto and Iganga. How I wish we were connected from Kabong to Kitgum, and indeed in Gulu. We are connected, that we speak one language, and when that one person speaks, everybody listens. How I wish we were connected. That we will get there. I mean, there are people who produce their kids, and they have told us very well that my son will avenge for me. And of course, Ugandans are also producing. One day, that child, that Ugandan will grow up and will be that person who will avenge for Ugandans as well. Ugandans are yearning for the person who will avenge on its own behalf, or on our own behalf. A lot of questions, but so few answers. Welcome to Uganda, where the person who is practicing and exercising impunity is the one who is outside of court and not even in the prisons and the cells, but the one person who is standing up for the right thing to be done is behind bars. Welcome to Uganda. I love Uganda. And until and when we have reached a point where that point which is going to be blowing up, and Ugandans will realize that it is their responsibility to take that country back into their hands, we are going nowhere. We are going nowhere. Because I'm telling you, many questions to be answered, but we don't have the answers. A judicial system that has failed. The person who is the one who is in the army is the one, arresting people and abducting people. The person who is, charging them even is doing everything. The person who is bringing a face to be fighting corruption, but is the same person who is trying to torture and intimidate people. Welcome to Uganda. Welcome to the Pearl of Africa, where we are seeing young children and widows and orphans are being left to fend for themselves while their own parents, sisters and brothers, uncles, nephews, you can call them, they are perishing. Welcome. Welcome to Uganda. Welcome to Uganda, where we hope to be free, but we are often squeezed. Impunity is the order of the day. Abduction, torture. But again, let us remind ourselves of the quote that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mentioned of. He said, if you have something to live for, or rather, if you don't have anything to die for, you don't have any business to live. Leaves the population with so many questions and anxiety rather than hope. The silence of majority of Ugandans doesn't guarantee your safety. As a concerned Ugandan, I am asking Ugandans and all well wishers for Uganda. Where will the hope that guarantees the future of Ugandans come from? Who will help Ugandans from the quagmire that she finds herself in? It's going to be Ugandans themselves. And I long forward to that day. And I hope, and I will tell you, Ugandans, you will remember this video one day, that indeed, the people who are tormenting people, the people who are punishing our people, they're living young widows, they're living orphans, they will go one day, and indeed one day, they will live to remember the days that they have been able to do all these things to Ugandans. Because I'm telling you, it's a living proof that people who were trying to, ill-treat people, do a lot of charm on people, at the end of the day, today, where are they? They're living in the downhill of what they were able to do. What comes around goes around. Karma is a bitch. What goes around comes around. And I hope they're producing. I hope they are having children. I don't know any of them. I don't need to know any of them either. But one day they will be able to laugh with the orphans, with the widows. They will laugh with them. Well, they will play with them, and they will be indeed friends, and they will be, jubilating as well. That is Uganda. That is Uganda. How I wish we were able to communicate from Kitgum to Rakai, and we are speaking the same language. When we are able to have the people who can be able to speak from the hills of Kampala to be listened to in Mbarara and indeed in Iganga, as indeed people of Jinja will be able to speak the same language, and we Ugandans will be able to rise up and get to be able to do something for our country. We are going nowhere. We are going nowhere. And it's going to be us. It's going to be you and me to do something for that country. And of course, let me remind you that today it might be Erias, Lukwago. Tomorrow you never know who it was going to be. I know the other day it was Walter Ocharo Dodge. The other day it was Nobo Mayombo. The other day it was another person. And the other day is going to be you. It's going to be you. You and I. You think that you are safe by keeping quiet. Your silence is keeping you alive and well? No. No. But again, the God that we praise, the God that we worship, the God that answers prayers, I know many widows and orphans have been able to pray so many prayers to you, God. I hope one day they will answer. I hope one day you will answer their prayers. Because they have lived the torture, they have lived the abduction, they have lived to witness their young parents perishing. And they still do. And Uganda is bleeding. And we are not yet awake. I remember recently, vividly, very well, I remember it was the price of bread in South Sudan, or Sudan, precisely Sudan. And I remember vividly, it was a boy who sets himself on fire under Mubarak of Egypt. And I remember vividly that people remember with history that everything went to a standstill. I don't know when and how. I don't know who will do this. I don't know how. That day is going to come for Uganda, but I know that one day is going to come that we will have that boiling point click on, that people will be able to laugh. And they will be chanting the song of joy from the hills of Kitgum deep down to Rakai, as indeed in Bende and indeed Amolata they will be celebrating, and indeed Apache, Chirandongo will be laughing, and they will indeed be jubilating in Mbarara, and indeed they will be alive and well in Tororo. In Toroko, whatever it is, they will be laughing and chanting the song of joy that we will together do something for our country. And I tell you, be strong, have that hope, have the courage. One day we shall win. One day the hope will be alive and well, because it can never be one people, it can never be one person who is holding up onto everything else. And God, whom we serve, is quiet and watches over it. One day, it's going to be fine. I don't have the answer. But I wish that we can speak one language, Ugandans. I wish we could be able to make it happen on our own. I wish we could get there.